What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be having a little bit of a discussion about Star Wars Squadrons with my good friend, the Twisted Jedi. How are you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. How are you?
I'm very well, very tired, as I'm sure you are as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, very keen to get stuck into it. So, firstly, I do need to mention that this video was made possible by the EA Game Changers program. Myself and Twisted were lucky enough to get our hands on the game for a few hours over the weekend, and so yeah, massive thank you to EA for the opportunity. So, we are going to try and keep this a little bit shorter, and I should also mention, not 100% sure if I'll put the gameplay in the background of this, so if you're wondering why it's Starfighter Assault, then that's why, but there will be other videos on the channel. And yeah, same goes for Twisted. Twisted will have some gameplay on his channel as well. So, the first question I've got is, what was your thoughts on the power management system between, switching to your shields and switching to your, your lasers and all that kind of thing?
Yeah, cool. So my main opinion of that was that it was a little bit tricky at first, but once you get the hang of it, it can be really useful. Obviously, you've got, in most of the situations for certain starfighters, you've got your speed, your shields, and obviously your firepower and your offensive ability as well. So I think finding the right timing to switch between each one was definitely key in doing well. So when you're getting beamed, obviously redirecting your power to your shields was what you needed, or if you wanted to do a ton of damage to anyone, then you redirect it to your offensive capabilities. And yeah, I like the idea of it. I think it's really cool, and being able to play with that a little bit more and actually get the hang of when to use it perfectly is going to be a huge help.
Yeah, it was definitely when they sort of first announced that in the that gameplay reveal, I was a little bit sort of skeptical because I thought it just sounded so complicated, and it was like, oh, am I really gonna have to figure out the right time to use the right thing and that type of thing? But honestly, after probably one game, I honestly felt like I'd been playing that for years. I was still shit at the rest of the game, but the power management stuff was actually, it kind of came pretty easy. So I think they've done really well with it, and I think it does, I don't know, it just makes it a bit more, I guess, the more skillful you are and the more you think about it, the better you'll do, which is I kind of like, because in Battlefront we all know that you just get a hero and you can dominate, but in this it does seem like you're gonna have to think about what you're doing. So I did really like that, and I was skeptical about it, but I think they actually sort of pulled it off pretty well.
Yeah, for sure. I think the thing I liked about it too was that it was super simple. Obviously we were playing on controller, so it was literally just pressing the D-pad, press left, up, down, whatever it was, to redivert that power to certain subsystems, and then you just hit down on the D-pad to go back to your standard balanced level of subsystems across the board. So they made it really easy to switch in between. I knew if I press left on the D-pad, it was going to go to my engines and I was going to get more speed. That kind of thing made it really simple to use, and like you said, after one game you kind of had the hang of it.
Yeah, which is, I think that's a big thing, because if it had been, taken a while to get used to, I think that would be a bit of an issue. But no, it seemed to, I've never really played any sort of flight simulator type games before, and that, yeah, it just came so naturally, so I think they've done pretty well with it there.
Absolutely.
The next question was, what surprised you the most from the whole time playing?
Probably how quickly one of the MC-75s beamed me out of the sky. I think they definitely packed a punch, and I wasn't expecting it. If you do fly too close, you're not used to sort of taking that much damage that suddenly, and that was one thing that definitely surprised me. But that's more to do with the actual in-game side of it. I think the thing that surprised me most was how complex a lot of the gameplay is. You come from something like Starfighter Assault in Battlefront 2, it's very simple. You fly around, you've got your targets, you've got your missiles on R1, you've got, whatever else, your speed boost on L1. It's very simple. There's nothing to it. Whereas in this, you've got to worry about, like you said, the power management that we just went over. You've got to worry about, redirecting your deflectors to the front or the back of your starfighter. You've got a whole ton of different things that you need to worry about. Being locked onto with missiles is obviously a skill in its own to be able to avoid them or use some of your abilities to actually get out of that as well. So I just think the actual depth behind the gameplay mechanic is something that definitely really surprised me.
Yeah, I literally would pretty much echo exactly what you said. I thought this was going to be, especially because it was, these guys did work on Battlefront 2. I honestly thought a lot of it would be pretty similar to Starfighter Assault, but I'll literally say that not one single aspect of this game, other than the fact it's just Starfighters, but other than that, nothing reminded me of Battlefront, which the Starfighter Assault gameplay is really good, but I'm actually glad that it's completely different because it was such a nice change to just get something that, we've never really played before. And, like you said, the depth of it was just, like, the amount of stuff you can do, like you said, like, even just learning to evade missiles and all that type of thing, it has so much more depth to it than Starfighter Assault, where it's just essentially, like, turn quickly, where, in this, it's, you can do certain things, you can put your shields up, you can try and outrun it, you can try and crash it into a, like a piece of cover or whatever. So, I think just generally the depth of the gameplay was, like you said, definitely the most surprising part for me.
Yeah, definitely. I think one of the biggest things, and one of the coolest things that I found was the countermeasures ability, which we'll probably touch on again at some point in one of the videos, but there's actually one of the countermeasure abilities can redirect the missile back at the person that shot it at you.
Yeah, I thought that was
using
awesome.
Yeah, I was using that for a little while, and man, I picked up some kills doing that. It was just so satisfying to use, hey?
Yeah, that's something that I'm very keen to dive into a bit more, because I changed around a few of those components, but I didn't really touch on them too much, and I think there will be some pretty cool stuff in there. So yeah, that one was amazing. Actually, it saved my ass a few times. But
yeah, I think it did the same for me.
Now we've touched on this, and there was a sort of section of the gameplay where we were allowed to sort of just go into customization and all that type of thing, and you said that you spent a bit of time in it. What was your thoughts on that overall?
Yeah, I thought the customization was absolutely amazing. There's so much there to actually play around with, and between customization of your actual pilot, so like the top they wear, the bottom they wear, the species or they are, whether they're human or alien or whatever you want it to be. Like we saw Twi'leks, we saw a whole bunch of different aliens as well. We saw different tops, we saw different bottoms, and I don't know if you spotted it, but there's actually rarities to those customization options as well. So some are more expensive than others in terms of the in-game currency. And then also, your Starfighter itself could be customized. Like there was burnt out X-Wings, there was chrome Y-Wings, there was like Sabine Wren's colors on one of the Starfighters as well, which was absolutely incredible to see. And you can customize your helmet on your pilot, and there was just so much that you could actually touch on in terms of like cosmetic customization, and then of course the components as well, which would change the way your Starfighter actually behaves and plays in game. So yeah, definitely really cool.
Yeah, it was very it was something I didn't really expect there to be much of, because it's a first person game. I didn't think we'd really, they already mentioned we would be able to customize, but I just thought it would be very basic stuff. But even down to like putting those decals on the side of your tie and stuff like that, it was just, there was so much more there than I originally thought. And they actually mentioned that that's not going to be all of it either. In one of the earlier chats with the devs, I think it was Ian who said that wasn't even all the customization. So I'm very interested to see, like, down the line how much once it actually comes out, what they're going to have. I don't know if there's just a few extra things, or if that's like we only saw half of it or whatever, but even what we saw was honestly more than I originally thought, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's one thing that's going to be really cool is that, when you play in, say, like a dogfight mode where it's 5v5, you're not going to have two Starfighters that are the same. Like, everyone's Starfighter is going to be different, and it's going to have different colorways and paint jobs, and their character's going to look different in the lobby before you actually load into a game and stuff. So that's, just going to add a whole nother level to it. Yeah,
exactly. Especially the like inside of your cockpit. I reckon that's such a cool touch to have. Kind of make it your own, like make your own little thing that not many of us are going to have the exact same sort of inside of the cockpit. So yeah, they really nailed it. I do hope there's more. Like there was a lot, but I also hope if they've done that much, I hope they go overboard with it. But already it's kind of exceeded what I thought it would be. So yeah, definitely very happy with the customization.
For sure.
Well, that is going to do it for this one, boys and girls. Twisted will be uploading, I guess, like a part 2 to this on his channel as well. So I'll leave a link down in the description if you do want to go and check that out. But yeah, thanks for coming on, man. And
no worries.
I'll send all the boys over to your channel to watch the second part. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.